What's going on, Lotus Tribe? I hope all is well and that you are aligning and the universe is giving you everything that you could have ever imagined for yourself in this frequency, and that you are courageous and resilient in your journey to becoming the highest version of yourself. Welcome to ThinkPeace. The place where we reflect deeply on our souls. So, I know some of us who have been following me previously have seen the change of this segment we call Think Peace. Ultimately, it is a place for us to pretty much journal, right? And reflect. It is a visual journal, much different than what we typically see. This is not a vlog. This is a place where we sit down and we reflect and we take these reflections into our waking self. And we then utilize the things that we have come to and the downloads that we have received in order for us, right, as individuals to then transform and become better versions of ourselves. So I've been sitting with a few journal prompts, but one spoke to me in particular, and I've journaled myself. This is a safe space for us together. I want you to also reflect on it, right? So we're on this together, becoming this new version of ourselves, right? I'm just your guide, essentially. So, one of the journal prompts that came to me, that was given to me, was, what am I still negotiating that my spirit has already said no to? What are you negotiating that your spirit, or still negotiating? What have you been still negotiating what your spirit has already said no to? Like, that is so powerful because we do it often. Like, for example, even in my recent fast or fruit feast, like, I was negotiating with myself on how I could eat when I can start over. And I'm not saying that it's just a horrible thing, but there are some things that can be a little bit more um, detrimental. I don't want to say fatal. In some cases, may be fatal, but a little bit more detrimental to our being because we are not listening to our guides, or we're not receiving the messages from God or consciousness or the creators or the creator, however that suits you. We're not listening to ourselves and taking the messages in order for us to make better decisions. And a lot of the times that comes with the need of control. Like, you lose or you lack trusting of the universe always working in your favor. So you typically hold on to things or negotiate things as a form of control to feel like you have the ability to make those decisions or make those shifts. And really, it does come with just having faith in the unknown and knowing that even when you're going through difficulties, right, that ultimately it will lead you to the place that you're trying to get to. So for me personally, what I had to sit with and what hit me like a ton of bricks. Okay. What am I still negotiating that my spirit has already said no to? Validation from other people. And I would have considered myself, and still do, like, but in the past more so, like, I don't give a F what nobody think. I don't care what nobody think of me. Not saying that I was about to be out here and be ghetto and alley. At one point, I was definitely a little ghetto and ratchet. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm from Brooklyn. Listen, give me grace. But in the aspect of like making decisions and being like, I don't care what nobody think. I'm going to do what I want to do anyway. I don't care how you feel. I don't care about none of that. And so this was really difficult for me to take in, like, oh, you're looking to be validated by people? What? When? Since when? But let me tell you how I figured it out, that this is something that I actually was doing in my codependency. In my codependency, I learned that I was looking to be validated and that I didn't have enough self love for myself to do things that served me, not necessarily in a selfish way, right? So, for example, I would attract relationships to myself, go for relationships, because I've had other relationships where I wasn't the person always feeding the relationship. It was equal. Like there was a balance, you know. I had the guy and he took care of me and he considered me, all of the things that a woman would want. And I would sabotage those relationships because I was so fixated on the idea of fixing somebody up because that makes me more valuable. If I get you to see me, right? If I get you to see me, this person, then you will feel the love for me. You will validate me. You will feel that whole for me, right? And so that was truly and really the first step of me realizing, like, damn, you need validation. And it don't look the same for everybody, but it's still the same frequency. You're defining being valuable as a woman and what you have to offer by fixing up men in order for them to come back and turn around and tell you how worthy you were because of how loyal you exhibited yourself, or how much you were willing to allow yourself to be worn down, or how much you was willing to hold a nigga down in order for him to come back to you and tell you, oh, I love you and you're worthy and you're everything. Look what you have done for me. And I had to wake up one day, more so recently. It's been a little while that I've been on this journey to say to myself, you're worthy just for being you. This person doesn't define your worth. This person has nothing to do with you being worthy. Period. What you do for them does not make you worthy, but in fact, you are worthy of just being you. You are worthy. Your presence is worthy. So, as I've been going through that journey and alchemizing that energy and letting go and being more soft and being aware and conscious of my previous patterns and behaviors, it has really propelled me into the version that I am experiencing right now. I not only realized that I was looking to be validated by men, I realized that it was something that I learned from the women in previous generations of mine, not just my mother, but my grandmother and my great grandmother. So for me, not looking to be validated in that way has assisted me in breaking generational curses and taking back my power. Then I also realized that I had friendships where I was looking to be validated. Let me tell you how much so. I was surrounding myself in friendships where I was the only person feeding the relationship, or I was the only person who had what one would describe as success. Not saying that these people are inadequate, but the saying goes like, you want to have smarter friends. You want to surround yourself by people that know more than you, because it will push you to grow. Well, subconsciously, what I was doing was I was surrounding myself with friends that had what I call, and in West Indian culture, we call red eye energy. Attracting the wounded because I am a healer, which is fine, but desiring that these friendships that I had, like they idolized me, a very sick way. It's just, when I sit back and think about it, it sounds crazy when you say it out loud, but it's real. Like I remember being in high school one time, and I was in ROTC when I was in high school, and one of my lower ranking cadets came to me and she was like, "Why you hang out with all the ugly girls and you the only pretty girl out of the group?" Now, I was like, "Girl, what you talking about? That's not accurate. They look fine." But as I got older, in this age, in this version of myself, I'm like, damn, did I do that purposely? Because I really wasn't doing it purposely. I was just friends with people. But again, like, you attract what you are a reflection of. And not saying that these women were ugly. Like, please. I don't want nobody in my comments saying, like, how dare you call these women ugly? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I think subconsciously I've been doing that. And it just had many different faces of just, needing to be the person that sounds like the smartest, needing to be the person that seems like she has herself together. When in all reality, baby, I have Nathaniel together. I had the job, I had the children, I had the relationship on a surface level, but I was missing the love for myself, unconditional love for my children, a lack of unconditional love for my partner, and realizing that I had to work on me and be so comfortable with me that was the only way that I was going to be able to change this desire or need of being validated by other people. And I think that within itself can be so dangerous, right? Because it makes you envious, it makes you jealous, it makes you impulsive. So many things stem from that, of looking to be validated in order to find your worth, when in all actuality you should know your worth. And when you know your worth, you then become a reflection in the mirror and in this 3D expression of what you really feel in the inside. So when you can validate yourself, in the instance for me, I don't have to worry about being with men that are one-sided, because being that I know what I am, that I'm valuable and that I'm worthy, I now will reflect men that naturally want to take care of me, men that naturally want to pour into me because they see my worth. But when I wasn't seeing my worth, because I was looking for somebody else to define it for me, I was finding myself being in circumstances and situations of which I was always exhausted and my energy was being sucked dry. It was crazy. So let me read the passage that I have, right? I'm leaving that with you all. I want y'all to leave some comments down below, for real. Like, what is it that your spirit has already said no to, but that you're still negotiating with yourself, whether that's the relationship, whether that's the job, whether that's the thing, just period. It's a safe space here, and I think that it's important that we become candid and that we share these things with other people. It's like going to like group therapy for the first time. You realize that it's just not you going through it, right? It's you and everybody else, and it just looks different, but at the root of it all, it's the same thing. And so think about it like that in this space. Like, this is group therapy essentially. You know that you're not going through this by yourself. And so I would love to see comments. I'm not saying spill all the business, but just simply in 1 to 2 words, if you can, what is it that you've been negotiating that you need to give up and let go in order to become that version of yourself, the highest version of yourself? So here's what I have. If I can get back to the page. Okay. It says, affirmation that I wrote is, I am enough just by being. What am I still negotiating that my spirit has already said no to? Validation and putting others before myself. My self worthiness and self love should be enough for me. Others will just have to overstand. No matter how many times Spirit has told me to stop speaking, I have found myself telling others my plans, and each moment those strides fall through. But no more. I have found that my need for validation has attracted envy. It goes back to Genesis and the creation story. Everything is good because of the existence of being. And that's what I journaled. I think in this essence of me journaling that day, I found that I had difficulty like just keeping things to myself. Like I always want to share, and I think that that's just the teacher in me. Like when I come across new things, I want to tell people. I also think it's a desire to be validated and be told like, "Great job, you accomplished this thing." But what I realize is that when I open my mouth and I should be quiet and keep certain things to myself, those things fall apart. It's like it don't fall through. They fall apart. So I've been actively working on that, on keeping a lot of my dreams and my desires to myself. Um, so that's where we are. And of course, we give ourselves grace. I'm giving myself grace. I'm still learning through that journey. And so I hope that this journal prompt served you and that you can take this with you and do your own journaling in regards to, what you're still negotiating that you need to let go. Again, don't forget to leave some comments, some star emojis, because we know we working through it to get to the best versions of ourselves. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this, where we more reflective, because we know we need to be, right? And until next time, thank you for joining me in this segment of Think Peace. Sending you all my love and light. Peace be with you. Faye, aka